Hey, this is Sean with Prepared Homestead. I want to talk to you today about using rainwater for our hoop house. So we're kind of challenging ourselves and seeing if we can use nothing but rainwater to provide water for our hoop house. So our hoop house is right behind me, right there. Okay, and this rainwater catchment here is about 6 feet above the plants. Okay, and so we're gravity feeding this rainwater into that hoop house. But the real challenge is this going to be enough water to provide for tomatoes, peppers, melons, and then we have some flowers in there as well, like marigolds and borage. Okay, now last year we caught rainwater off here, but we had a smaller tank, so we had about a 90-gallon trough, really, and it worked great, right? So in fact, I'm gonna show you here in a minute the gravity feed water that we get up down there in the hoop house is fine. Okay, it's not a lot of pressure. 6 feet, it does not provide a lot of pressure. In fact, it's a little less than 3 psi, but it's enough. It's enough just to water, and again, I'll show you that. But what it did is it provided water for that hoop house until the end of June, okay, which is pretty good considering we had 100 days without rain last summer. Okay, we're here in North Idaho. That's not typical. It's typical to be dry in the summer, but it's not typical to be that dry. So it was an extra dry pattern. Okay, and technically we were in extreme drought. Okay, so this 275 gallons, right? So we're tripling the storage capacity here, which even this was overflowing. So I could put probably a 500-gallon tank here. Now, what you got to know is that it's just catching off a small portion of the roof. Okay, so this is not catching off of the entire roof. In fact, I'll show you real quick. There's another one of our rainwater catchment systems right there. That one's 550 gallons. This one 275. But again, it catches off another portion. Now we have you can see right behind me there, that's a first flush diverter. It's very small. It's probably inadequate if we were doing drinking water. It is perfectly fine for doing it. We also have a screen, basically a filter, and then another filter here on the top. So a couple filters just to get the gunk and the big stuff out. A little bit of a first flush diverter for any gunk that may be on the roof. And then, but this water is, again, it's pure irrigation water for the hoop house. So again, we start up here. We've got 6 feet to go to the hoop house, and then I'll show you, I will show you what it looks like, what the pressure is like down there. Okay, so the water comes from here. We've got just a standard hose here that comes down into our hoop house. And like I said, it's really not a lot of pressure at all, but it gets the job done. And it's not enough pressure to do even like soaker hose or that kind of thing. So I got to do it by hand, but it's just not that big of a deal when you have the benefit of utilizing rainwater. Okay, so we have our tomatoes and peppers and marigolds and borage, and there's some melons on that side. And I'll just kind of show you, make sure it's not kinked up, what kind of pressure we get from this kind of PSI. So you can see, now normally I'm watering from below, so that's the kind of pressure we're getting. It's not significant, but what am I doing? I'm able to spray 4 or 5 feet or so, but it's plenty to water. But again, so our challenge this year is, can we provide all of our watering needs for all these cayenne, jalapeno, tomatoes, 3 kinds of tomatoes, 2 kinds of melons, several kinds of peppers, etc., from rainwater. So we will see.